Today, we are thrilled to bring you an insightful discussion with an accomplished figure in the restaurant industry, Sue Ultmann. As the executive manager and marketing director of the iconic Baan Rim Pa restaurant, Sue has been instrumental in steering the restaurant to national acclaim and international recognition. Nestled on a cliff overlooking the stunning Andaman Sea, Baan Rim Pa is renowned for its royal Thai cuisine and unparalleled dining experience.
Today we have an immense pleasure of hosting a very special guest, an executive manager of Baan Rim Pa restaurant, Sue Ultmann. Hello, Sue.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. It's a legendary place. Don't you know any other place in Phuket with such a big background behind it? No.
Not really. No. I mean, Baan Rim Pa's been around for 35 years.
Okay, can you tell us the history of this place?
Sure. Well, when it started, it was around 1989 actually, that my late managing director, or the owner, he was an American, and he came to Phuket. He was a restaurateur. He'd had restaurants in several parts of the world, and he came here to retire and to fish. He wanted to catch a black marlin, and at the time they told him there's no black marlins left in these waters. The very next week he caught a black marlin, and he decided, okay, I'm going to stay.
That sounds magical.
It was. And he rented a small house right on the water at the north end of Patong, and then his friends, he kept hosting dinner parties, and people said to him, why don't you open a restaurant? And he'd lived in Bangkok for a while. He'd stayed at the Oriental for 3 months, and he convinced the then general manager, who was a very famous man, Kirk Vatvital, to let him have his top Thai chef for training of the staff. And that Thai chef's name was Charlie. So Kun Charlie was, he grew up in the palace, the Grand Palace. His parents were chefs to the king and queen. And when he became a chef, and then by teaching our staff, we were allowed to call our cuisine Royal Thai cuisine. And so that's where Baan Rim Pa started, and it started as a 30-seat restaurant and ended up being a 200-seat restaurant. But as you know...
But how long it took to be...
from 30 seats to 200.
Big restaurant.
It started as a house, which he turned into a restaurant, and then he added on to it and just kept adding more seats. And it was really probably only over a period of about 10 years that it grew to a much bigger restaurant. And it grew very famous very quickly because there was nothing else of that standard, of that quality and location.
And you came to Phuket only for 3 months working for this place?
Oh, no. My husband and I were both, I was with the travel media. My background is actually travel media, and my husband's a retired hotelier now. And we came to Phuket and decided that this is a good place that we'd stay for a while. And we rented a house, and the owner of Baan Rim Pa, he asked me to come and help him sort out his advertising and his marketing. And I agreed to do that for no more than 3 months. That was 22 years ago.
And you're still here?
I'm still here. He passed away 13 years ago, but I'm still here. And I always say that I must be very bad at my job because I haven't sorted out the advertising and the marketing yet, so I still have a job.
We have noticed that Baan Rim Pa has changed its location. Can you tell the story of this?
Sure, very easy. Where the original location was, my owners, they rented that accommodation and they rented the land from the owner. The owner passed away and left it to her children. And in the meantime, my owners bought the land where the current Baan Rim Pa is and built a whole new Baan Rim Pa, which is bigger and more beautiful, but still very, very similar. And when the contract ran out, we'd already moved in here. We'd been running it for a few years, and then we just prior to COVID, the contract was running out, and we decided that we would move here the whole time rather than being down there, and just didn't renew the contract. And I mean, this became famous immediately.
Every business has competitors, and Baan Rim Pa has strong competitors in Phuket. For me, they are Blue Elephant, for example. But how you live in this competition, and how you win in this competition?
Oh, it's not a win and lose. Blue Elephant is probably our only competition with high-end Thai food. And they're a wonderful restaurant, and they have their own place, and they're located in Phuket town, so it's totally different ambience, and the food, even though it's high-end Thai food, is still very different. It's beautiful. I don't think there's any other Thai restaurant that we compete with or competes with us or tries to. Certainly any restaurant is competition, or any high-end restaurant. But Baan Rim Pa has gone on for so many years because it's recommended by people, it's recommended by hotels. Local expats love to bring their visitors here because it's special, you know.
Very special.
So we're lucky. Yeah. But it's hard work.
Baan Rim Pa has a distinctive appeal. What would you say about unique aspects that set it apart in hospitality and in restaurant industry of Phuket?
Sure. Well, I mean, the location obviously is spectacular, and that is always something when people come to an island. They want to be looking at the water. So the decor, the layout of this place is. There's nothing else that matches it or tries to compete with it, so that's important. Obviously, the quality of the food. It has to always be at that same level. We have people who come back after 5 years or after 10 years, and they expect it to be the same and the same quality. So that is important to us, and of course service, you know. I mean, it's a package. Running a restaurant is not an easy business. In fact, it's probably one of the most difficult. And that's why you see so many restaurants open with a bang and close within a couple of years. Because to have a restaurant that goes on for many, many years, it has to be a package of everything to offer to the guests. So it has to be an appeal that is not just for one time, that people want to come back. And we have many people who come here on holidays, who come here 2 or 3 or 4 times during their maybe 1 week or 2 weeks holiday.
And your staff is a jewel in the crown, right?
Absolutely, you know. We have a lot of staff who have been with us for many, many years. Yes, in recent times, there has been turnover because of, you know, COVID and things change things. But our staff, I mean, you've seen them since you've been here today. I mean, they train, they think about things, and they try and make people's dining experience special.
The COVID pandemic changed everything in Phuket.
Sure, absolutely.
Phuket never experienced something like this before.
And we hope we'll never experience it again.
Yeah, cross our fingers.
Yeah, we stayed open. We were one of the few businesses that stayed open through the whole pandemic. We kept on, a lot of our staff went back to their provinces. Staff were on cut salaries. Obviously, we had days where we had 0 guests, but every day the restaurant was set up. Every day the staff wore their uniforms. We had a more limited menu, but still we operated right throughout the pandemic, and we supported our staff, and some of the staff have come back now who went back to their provinces, but yeah, it was a very difficult time financially for the restaurant, for my boss, but he stuck with the restaurant and the staff, and we got, we got through, and now we've come out the other side of it, and now trying to make up for all our losses during the long period of COVID. Yeah.
Have you raised prices after
No.
COVID to cover the
No.
cost
No.
of this COVID pandemic?
Our costs have gone up. The costs have gone up across the board in every area for everyone, but our prices generally have stayed the same. You can't just throw prices up. It doesn't work. If you do that, you'll lose business. I mean, our restaurant is certainly more expensive than your small Thai restaurants down in the cities and in Patong and things, but we didn't put up our prices, no.
I believe some people who watch this interview, they have never been here, and after our interview they will come here, but they want to know what's the average check in your restaurant? No alcohol and with alcohol.
Okay.
Just dinner for
Yeah.
two.
Dinner for two people, and it's so difficult. Okay, so I'm going to say around 1,000 baht a head, 800 baht, 1,000 baht to start. But you can go up because you start having lobsters and crabs and all things. I mean, you can pay a lot more. Alcohol, of course, alcohol in Thailand is expensive. We have an enormous wine list. We have an enormous bar. We have lots of different cocktails and beverages. So again, it depends what you drink. If you're going to have a bottle of wine with dinner, wine starts at around 2,000 baht a bottle and goes up to 128,000 baht a bottle. So it just depends really on on what you order. But you're not going to get a 70 baht bowl of rice at Baan Rim Pa. You know what I mean?
You're from Australia, right?
I am, yes, originally.
So, does it make Australian wines on top of the list here?
No, absolutely not. We have Australian wines and New Zealand wines and New World wines, which they are very popular, but so are Chilean wines, Argentinian wines. But then we have a lot of old world wines as well, so we have wines from all over the world, and we have won Wine Spectator Award of Excellence since 2002. Mm-hmm. So we have a very substantial wine list from all over the world.
I can share my experience. Dinner for two usually cost me 3,000 baht without alcohol.
Yeah.
Because it's a starter and main dish and the non-alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
For two.
And you share.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Thai culture, Thai food culture
is to
makes
share.
you to share.
Yeah. And the dishes are designed, when people say that they order an entree for themselves and or an appetizer for themselves and a main course, you think you're missing out. You are really missing out. You need to share. You need to order some different dishes to start with, and then a couple of different dishes for main course. And yes, I would say if you spend sort of 3,000 baht a head, you're going to get a good selection of nice dishes, and go away hopefully enjoying it.
Maybe my next question will be unusual for standard interviews with a restaurant manager, but rice is in the center of everything in Thailand.
Yes.
And of course, in your cuisine, in Royal Thai cuisine, rice plays a major role. So what sort of rice you use here, or it's very special, something rare?
So you had to ask me a question that I really haven't got the answer for. No, I mean, we use the highest quality of rice and things. Rice is normally is the white steamed rice, and of course there's all different grades and all different types. I'm not the chef, so you asked me the wrong question. And we do have other rice dishes, but basically the rice, and I'm someone, I don't really eat that much rice. I'm not a rice person, but it's served in a bowl. People usually order an individual bowl of rice. We don't have the big pot where we just, sort of keep throwing it on the plate. People have their own individual bowls of rice.
But I noticed that there is a great difference between rice, cheap,
Oh yeah,
medium
yeah.
rice,
No, well,
and
I mean,
high-end.
we use good
You
quality.
feel it.
Yeah.
The taste
Absolutely,
is so different.
yeah.
So your
But that's the same with anything. I mean, you think about it. If you buy the cheapest chicken, and there's cheap chicken and then there's different grades. If you buy the cheapest, you can taste it.
really.
Oh yeah, especially in Thailand. Yeah. So and it's the same with meat and things. You have to look. We aim to give the good quality. Because that's important, because especially Europeans, they'll come here, and if you have the tough chicken that the Thai people eat, they're going to ask you what it is. They're going to say it's not chicken, or there's something wrong with it. So yeah,
Or it's running chicken from the street.
absolutely. And we see those regularly.
But in Europe, you get this chicken as a free-range organic chicken
Yes.
running in the street.
Oh yeah, that's different.
But anyway, you have a daily supply of fresh seafood.
Every fresh supply of almost everything every day. Certainly of all seafood and all fruit and vegetables and everything comes in daily, every morning. We have our own lady and man who have been our buyers forever, and they go to different places. Then we have certain fishermen who supply us. We get their first catch of, say, white snapper or red snapper, because it all has to be of a certain size. So because we've been around for so long, we have the suppliers who we get first choice, and they know what to bring us and what not to bring us.
Well, I think Baan Rim Pa deserves to get the first catch of the day, And the question what I would like to ask on behalf of all my subscribers, how many tons of fish and seafood people eat every day in Baan Rim Pa? Or kilos?
I have no idea.
But a lot.
A lot. But it depends. Now, you have to understand, I mean, Baan Rim Pa is a big restaurant, but it's not like a factory. It's not like one of those big places you walk into and there's people everywhere. No. When you walk in and you look around this restaurant, which is beautiful, you probably say, oh, maybe 100, 120 or 30 seats. We can seat up to 300 people, but it doesn't look like it and it doesn't feel like it. And except in very high season, it's not crowded, so it goes, we have the different levels. We always make sure that, I mean, you're going to come in, you can say, oh, they've got empty tables. We don't have people all coming in at the same time. Service is important. It's important for the kitchen. It's important to us that people have a really good dining experience. So if you're going into those big restaurants and, sort of the turnover and the fish tanks out the front, which always horrifies me, or the fish sitting out the front on ice in the sun, where you have the half of the fish is sitting on cold and the top half of the fish is sitting in the sun. they're the sort of things that you won't find here.
You host different events like weddings, birthday parties. What was the most memorable event you hosted here?
We've done some beautiful weddings, some very special ones, some high-end ones that haven't been publicised, and we never put out photographs and things of those. I mean, we have a lot of very famous people come from all over the world. We have a lot of famous actors and...
Can you call some names?
Well, Celine Dion used to come here with her husband. They used to holiday here a couple of times. A person who is a good fun person, Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was one of these people who he'll come in and he'd have photos taken with the staff. A lot of people don't want to be known, and so we don't treat them. I mean, you see hotels and restaurants, the manager standing up and taking photographs with they're here on holiday.
But
they don't want that, so we let them come in and we treat them like anybody else.
But you closed the restaurant for celebrity, or no, for Celine Dion?
No, she just came and sat at a table.
Like average people?
Absolutely, and treated exactly the same. And that's what they love, because then people look across and go, well, she looks like Celine Dion. But it can't be, because they treat her differently, you know. So no, we've always had the policy that unless people want to be treated and shown that they're known, we just treat them as any other guest.
And it makes you very special for everybody?
I hope so.
Yeah, it does. It does. Looking forward, what do you expect from the upcoming high season? Because this high season was a mess. It was the first time from 3 years. It was a crowd in Phuket. I would say overcrowded. What do you expect next high season?
Well, first of all, for us, it was a fabulous high season. Because we're just that little bit away from Patong, but close enough to be close to Patong, but far enough away, we didn't find it a mess at all. We were very busy. It was great. We had a mixture, and we always have a mixture of nationalities. I mean, when people say, what is the most nationality, I can't tell you, because we go, you can look around the restaurant and there's always a mixture of different nationalities. So it wasn't a mess, it was great for us. I think that next high season will be different. I think it will be more organized, because people just wanted to go anywhere. People were just sort of like, I've got to get out, where can I go, where can I go? And Thailand was a place that did open up and let most people in as long as they'd had their vaccinations and things. And they handled it, I believe, very, very well. Usually over all the years I've lived here, immigration and things when you came through was a nightmare, customs and immigration. During this high season, generally, it was very, very well organized. And I think the future is good for Phuket. I think it's a beautiful place to come. That's why I live here. I think people will, sort of come back more and more to places like Phuket.
What's your life motto?
My life motto, do as much as you can, see as much as you can, enjoy life, because it's a very short time that we're here, and be nice to people. Always be nice to people. It's much easier than being rude to people.
Serve people as you would like to be served by others.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Sue. I was so happy to see you again.
It's been a while, yeah?
Yeah, it's been a while. And to see you here at this legendary place, restaurant Baan Rim Pa. I love your cuisines. It makes me sometimes crazy.
Well, that's good, because we won't tell them, but we're going to have lunch together after this.
We will.
Yes.
So let's finish this interview and let's have a lunch.